Alright, everybody, welcome back in. This is another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmor, and this one's going to be featuring one of my buddies in the community. This is none other than jayxp123. Haven't cast a game from Jay in a while, and I always love casting Jay games because he's got a great and fun style. Let's introduce his opponent here. I think he's new to the channel. I don't remember casting this particular player before. This is Techimon. That's like Pokemon, maybe? I don't know. Playing in the blue Infernal. Now, I say I haven't cast him before, but of course there's always the potential that Techimon is an alt. And maybe this is someone I know. If so, let me know if you know who they are. If not, if you're Techimon, say hi. Give me a shout out. Welcome to the channel. What are we looking at for builds here? We're on Edge of Oblivion. It looks like we got a shrine out there first into the vault, as the vault's still finishing up. That's a nice eco build. And we saw as we were introducing here that Jay went straight into command post into racks, which again is pretty much the standard build for the Van GGs out there. Now this is more standard JXP, which is, hey, if I got one base, I want 2 and 3 and 4. If he's not putting a bunch of early aggression on you with a whole bunch of lancers or dogs or something, bunker rushing you, he might be building a whole bunch of command posts all over the map and making lots of money. Because if there's one thing I'll say about Jay's style is he likes to do something. If he's going to do something, he's going to do it all the way. He's not just going to do a half strat. He's going to do a full strat. If he's doing eco, it's full eco. If it's early aggression, it's full early aggression. Okay, he's not going to half-ass it. And right now, we got our first Lancers out. And even though they both started to eco, that means these two early Lancers, they're not really early anymore, but they're early for the game. Because everyone opened with eco. They come across, they're doing some scout, but they were just trying to get some extra swipes on the Brute. Really nice positioning here of double supply depot to try and keep the Lancers out. One Lancer's going to be sacked to run in.
Stormgate will activate soon.
Potentially sacked, I should say. Sees the ritual chamber still being summoned. Sees the tier 2, the greater shrine here, already done. And then imps put down the Lancer, put the final damage down. Here we have a forward tribute pyre. This is becoming more common, especially at the Stormgate. Helps you get that shroud, and helps you get permanent shroud, because you can drop an effigy now. At the moment, the shroud will just be for healing, as we don't have any of the upgrades done yet. And here's an interesting thing. That is not the Soulrand chakrams that you would get for your gaunts. That is indeed Hexen Adept training. And our Hexen Adept, that will give you your mines. Can't remember, they're not venom traps anymore. There's something mines. Hex field mines or something. And after that, you'll be able to get your Necrotic Hex Field, which is the Miasma rename. It's still the same thing, it just got a rename. Out pops a Faerun. Techimon is the winner of that particular battle. Jay pulls back. It was an interesting little tug of war instead of a full-on battle there. And third base on the way for Techimon. And the interesting little Sim City he's got with his buildings here. Jay coming in with a Strike Force. Exos plus Lancers. Ooh, nice control of his units as he always has. And by that, what am I commenting on there is that he was controlling his Exos independently from his Lancers, which maybe isn't a tall order. But a lot of us use all one army. And it's good to get in the habit of controlling at least different unit groups. You want to let your melee units stay in the front and keep attacking, and while you might be repositioning some of your ranged units. This is a nice aggressive push here. We're going to get one shrine go down. A couple Exos at the top might go down as well. There's a trap that gets triggered, which means we're going to get curse as well as vision on some of those units. And once again, nice control from Jay as he pulls those cursed units back, lets the curse run out. Nice control. Another Hexen just bravely running up. She doesn't like that. Gets back to the safety of the rest of her army. What's going on up here? Oh, this was a forward farm. No base over here. So Jay's probably going to go back to putting on pressure. Like I said, he likes to do things pretty full. If he decided here, I'm going to pressure with this army, he's going to pressure with it. That doesn't mean he's just going to A-move in, though. Although at the moment, he's kind of A-moved in. The Maesba, I mean the Necrotic Hex Field, did a lot there and helped melt a lot of those Exos. So maybe he did get a little overextended there. He's usually pretty good at deciding, hey, I'm not gonna overextend. I'm just gonna stand on that front, the front line there, and maybe back up if I need to. And indeed, he did preserve some of those units. But at the same time, while taking some of those losses, it allows Techimon to try and get his composition up. He's added Hellborn. He's got Hellborn. He's got his Hexen. Looks like he's only got one Hexen here. And Jay's going for the Stormgate. His units are going to rip through that and get some crazy DPS. And I think Techimon was hoping for the flank here, and that's what he got. Necrotic Hexfield going down. Not perfectly targeted. But the Stormgate was won, and we get a Vile Lurker out. It was won by Jay, I should say, to be very clear there. Vile Lurker goes down. And so do a lot of these units here. But now they're going to charge through and see if they can get a Hellborn to go before they go down. The rest of them are going to get cleaned up here. And Techimon is in a good position. I mean, his army was also whittled away there. That was a lot of trading going on there. It wasn't a complete rout. And down goes the mech bay, but the Vulcan gets out seconds before it dies, which is clutch. That's what we call clutch. And the Vulcan is a real nasty brother. If he can stay alive here, he's going to do a lot of damage to this tier 1 army. Hellborns in the back are going to be helpful. But there are only 2 at the moment. You really need to count closer to 4 if you want to start dealing with these Vulcans. And I think Techimon knows that, so he's retreated back and he's regrouping. Staying on the Shroud here, healing up when he can. Really wants to put that Faerun in the healing juices of the Wellspring. Little Exo cleaning out the effigy strike force. But I think Jay may have got a sense here that this attack was coming in as he pulled his army back pretty early. Nice flat cannon sort of array there. Really good necrotic hex fields there, but they're on top of the Vulcans. And Jay just sort of sat in that. And one of the reasons is because the Vulcans, they don't take as much damage. I mean, everything takes the same damage. It's flat damage, but because they have so much HP, the hex field just doesn't, it's damaging. It's just not as punishing for them. We got a lot of Hellborn here. We're up to that good number of Hellborn, but we need the front line. There's no brutes to support this. There's like a single Gaunt and some Hexen. The Hexen at least can be used for zoning, which is to try and keep the units off the Hellborn, but once they run out of energy, more Hellborn added. The crazy number here. Hexfield again being used as a little bit of a zoning tool. Another Hexfield. That base, that barracks looks like it wants to die. The flat cannon in the back getting lots of good shots off there. Killing Gaunts, killing Hexen. Now some brutes have arrived. And remember how I was commenting how Jay controlled his units in different groups here? Techimon needs to be doing this. His Hellborn could be sitting in the back and just laying down these fireballs of death while his frontline micros back and forth. Unfortunately, his frontline is gone. A few necrotic hex fields were really useful there, but the Hellborn apparently were enough to push back. There's some really low Vulcans up there. If those Hellborn can move forward and get some shots off, they will go down. But at the moment, the Repair-O-Matics are getting them back up to full, and that's going to be clutch for Jay if he can get those Vulcans back up. This is a nice move from Techimon, trying to take out this base. But yikes, servos on an attack. Let's forget here, servos are incredibly good units when they're overcharged like that. Necrotic Hexfield on the ramp, that's super good. Lots of Exos going down. Jump jetting in are the Vulcans, but they go down too. Really nice battle for Techimon there, taking out the units with his Hexfield and the super positioning there. Another Hexfield, we see the System Shock to clear them out. Sadly, some Lancers charge back into it. They're very brave. Unfortunately, they're all dead now. Some units over here probably just aggroed in the wrong direction, and so that means they got caught out. This base will go down. And Techimon's putting on some really nice damage here, but I'd love for him to have more frontline added to these Hellborn. Luckily, when you get to kind of a critical mass of Hellborn, it's hard to just run up on them and jump and kill them. They can kill Exos really quickly. And luckily, without the front line here, what Techimon does have is a bunch of Necrotic Hexfield that can zone those units back. Here we go, servos on the front line. They're not attacking, they're just standing there. Now they move into attack. Exos microing in the back, trying their best to preserve this army. All the servos go down. Unfortunately, that means they've turned into phantoms. But the Hellborn feeling vulnerable. And Hexen's going down here too. Exos, they just want to harass this army all the way back. Luckily for Techimon, he does have reinforcements showing up here. More Hexens, more Brutes. It's just a momentary second where Jay can take a breath here, and he's going to clean up some of these effigies, which is super helpful. Same time, more effigies being added over here. That command post is going back up, but it's also going to go back down very quickly. Hexfield on the servos building, and yeah, I believe it got canceled there, as you do. Jay deciding, I'm not going to move back and fight that. I am going to push into your base now. Chasing down some imps. And that means we're into a little bit of a base race here. Although over here there are some flak cannons, so it's not a completely undefended base. Servos running back, trying to get on the mass repair. And they do. But there's just so many Hellbones there. But this base just got taken out too, and Jay is going in for the kill on it on the bottom. The question is, who's going to win the base race? Techimon does have all these Hellborn.
A Stormgate will activate soon.
But Jay has pushed into the third base here, killing lots of imps. And going to kill bases. And now the army of Techimon is showing up. We're starting to get Necrotic Hexfields here. That could really do serious damage here. But System Shock makes these units so quick. More Necrotic Hexfield going down, so they're all cursed. Another Necrotic Hexfield, but we see that curse cleared off with the System Shock again. A huge strike force of Exos show up with reinforcements. They System Shock away. I almost expected them to System Shock forward and just jump on top of the Hellborn there. It was probably the right maneuver from Jay. He knows what he's doing. Not me. I'm just the announcer. Boom! 2 Hellborn. Got the wrong orders. Went the wrong way around and go down to the Exos. So there's been a little bit of a turning of tides here. Pure Hex and Hellborn I don't think is enough against the Bio army. We see the... Oh wow, the Hexfields are trying to keep them, and Exos are going down. A lot of Exos go down there. But we also heard 3 or 4 Hellborn go down, and that is bad news for Techimon. In fact, I think Techimon's fighting for the Stormgate here, but the Exos are just going in for murdering the army. Down are all the Brutes. The Hexen 2. The Exos running back, they're very low. Is there going to be another reinforcement line of Exos showing up? We got 1 Exo on the way. Jay is out of money. He's mining from one base. But Techimon is also only on one base. The Stormgate is just not going to go down to anyone. It's just canceled. And both of them feeling the economic strain now in this game. What a great game. I'm glad I yoinked it from Jay. And once again, shout out Jay. Good guy putting his replays on public. And not only does he put his replays on public, but boy does he play lots of games for me. Thanks, Jay. I love all you out there that are just grinding the games. Keep it up. Keep it up. Jay finally decided maybe I can put some damage down here. He's healed up all his units. It's still a small strike force, but he knows that the rest of the unit, or the rest of the army, is also small on, on Techimon's side. Poor servos get caught. They got hit with the hex field. Now they're getting smacked by fiends and phantoms. And that means this base is going to go down. And that was the only mining base for Jay. So Jay's in a rough position here. Hexfield's chased back. And those Hexen are doing a lot of work now because with their energy-based damage, they can do a lot. But Jay's found a foothold here and is going for this third base. He takes out the base. Ooh, there's a hex field there. There's a mine. He narrowly avoids it. Another hex field goes down. Jay is gonna have to retreat here. Remember, his only mining base got taken out. This is his only army. In fact, Jay's is literally not mining anywhere.
A Stormgate has appeared.
I do not think he has any servos working any mine anywhere. Which means this is his army. In fact, if he's not mining, he should be pulling the servos. Pull the boys, Jay. No, he's going to lose some units here to the hex fields. Like I said, those hex fields, great energy-based DPS. That's just going to be really efficient when they're in this low economy kind of style game. In they come from the other side. Try and pick off some gaunts. Couple exos do go down to Hellborns here. And they're still just fighting over the Stormgate, and it makes sense. There's low supply. There's low eco. What can possibly come out of this? A deep one. You could have a whole deep one right now. That would turn the tides of the game. Not to mention a few of the other rewards as well. Hexfield goes down on the front line there. System shock to cleanse the curse. But it's just as full-on tug-of-war here. They're just going for the tug-of-war. They want to win this. Hexfield goes down again. System shock to cleanse again, but Exos are going down every time the Hexfield goes down. And now it's Gaunt's going down. Oh my. More Hexfield. Jay's doing the best to preserve his units. Another Hexfield. More Exos go down. The Stormgate's almost won by Techimon. It's so close. What a clutch game, and he totally wins it. And he pulls out the deep one. I can see the future. Poor Jay. Oh, he's like, I got the boys still. And he did get a base up. He did get the base up. I lied. All that time he was microing, he did get a base up. He got a med station up. He turns it into a flat cannon. The deep one's going wild. The boys have been pulled. They get overcharged. They charge in. This is it. This is all the marbles. They've got a full boy surround. The servos doing their duty. Killing the Hellborns. Running up the ramp. Never say servos aren't the best units in the game. It's a GG from Techimon. What a great game. Hope you enjoyed it.